Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into a really critical situation today.
Absolutely. Things have escalated sharply between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, starting May 6, 2025, it seems to have moved very fast.
It really has.
We've got a detailed briefing doc here. That's our main source. And, well, the mission for this deep dive is pretty clear, right?
Yep. Nail down the triggers, what both sides actually did, and how the world reacted initially.
Okay, let's get into it. The main event kicked off on the night of May 6th.
That's right. India launched missile strikes. They gave it an operation name, Operation Sindoor.
Sindoor. And the targets, what were they aiming for, according to India?
9 sites. India identified them as militant camps, specifically Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Okay, familiar names. And these sites were located where exactly?
Inside Pakistan and also Pakistan-administered Kashmir.
Got it. And the justification India provided, it goes back to that awful attack in April.
Yes, the Pahalgam terrorist attack, April 2025, where those 26 Hindu tourists were killed.
Right. And India saying basically that Pakistan-based militants were behind that attack.
That's their stated rationale for Operation Sindoor, yes. Retaliation.
So India launches the strikes. What was the immediate fallout on the Pakistani side in terms of damage, casualties?
Well, Pakistan confirmed casualties pretty quickly. They reported at least 8 people killed and 35 injured.
8 dead, 35 injured. And were these all military personnel?
No, and that's the crucial point Pakistan made. They stated civilians were among the casualties.
The civilians included.
Yes, tragically, they highlighted the death of a child in a mosque, apparently, in Bahawalpur, Punjab.
Wow. So that obviously led to Pakistan accusing India of what exactly?
Of hitting civilian areas, not just the claimed militant camps, a very serious accusation.
Which India denies, I assume.
India maintains they targeted only militant infrastructure, so a direct contradiction there.
Okay, so faced with strikes and civilian casualties, how did Pakistan respond politically and militarily?
Politically, the condemnation was immediate. They called it an act of war. Very strong language.
An act of war, wow. And the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister Sharif publicly vowed a strong response. And action followed. Pakistan confirmed counterstrikes.
What form did those take initially?
The first reports mentioned Pakistani artillery fire across the line of control, the Law Sea in Kashmir.
Okay, artillery across the Law Sea, standard escalation, in a way.
Kind of, yes. But they also claimed the initial Indian strikes hit places like Kotli, Muzaffarabad, and significantly Bahawalpur.
Bahawalpur again, where the mosque incident was reported.
Exactly. And beyond the artillery, Pakistan made a pretty big claim.
Which was?
They asserted they'd shot down 3 Indian Air Force fighter jets.
3 jets. Did they specify types?
They did. They mentioned a Rafael and an Su-30. The Rafael, of course, is one of India's top-line fighters.
That's a major claim. Huge, if true. Does our source confirm the downing of these jets?
The source notes Pakistan's claim, but doesn't offer independent verification at this stage. So it's a claim for now.
Right, okay. So, things heating up dramatically. How's the rest of the world taking this?
Predictably, with a lot of concern. You've got the UN, the United States, other major powers.
All calling for calm, I imagine.
Yes, basically urging restraint on both sides. The big fear, obviously, is this spinning into a larger war.
Especially given the nuclear dimension. It always hangs over any India-Pakistan conflict.
Absolutely. That's the primary driver of international concern. 2 nuclear-armed states in direct confrontation.
Are diplomatic efforts underway? Is anyone trying to mediate?
Diplomatic channels are definitely active. Lots of behind-the-scenes efforts to de-escalate. But, well, historically...
These things can take time, or sometimes calls for restraint aren't enough on their own.
Precisely. You often need more concrete diplomatic leverage.
So where does that leave us right now? What's the current status on the ground?
Extremely tense. Both countries have formally raised their military alert levels. We're seeing intensified airspace closures near the border, reports of troop deployments being reinforced, and just generally heightened defense readiness.
Everyone's on edge.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And you can bet intelligence agencies globally are watching this second by second.
Okay, let's just quickly recap the key points then. India strikes, calling it Operation Sindoor, citing retaliation for Pahalgam.
Pakistan confirms casualties, including civilians, leading to accusations of targeting non-military sites. They condemn it as an act of war and launch counteractions, including artillery fire and claiming downed Indian jets.
The international community steps in, urging restraint, deeply worried about the nuclear angle.
And currently, both sides are on high military alert, with the situation remaining very volatile.
The core disagreements seem clear. India's justification versus Pakistan's accusations, and the ever-present danger of escalation between these two nations.
That sums it up well.
So for you listening, as we see these events unfold so rapidly with such incredibly high stakes, what do you think are the most critical factors, the key things to watch that will shape where this crisis goes in the immediate future? Something to consider as this situation develops?